Hi, this is Pat Quinn. Welcome to the free online video course, Using iPads to Motivate Students and Manage Behavior in Your Classroom. This free video course consists of 6 lessons. Each lesson is designed to take 1 hour. The lessons will cover topics such as motivating students using iPads and how to manage student behavior while using iPads. The lessons will include not only strategies to help you manage the use of iPads in your classroom, but also great apps that you can use. And of course, all the apps that we mention will be free for you. Each of the 6 video lessons contain 3 distinct parts. First, online video teaching. You're watching the first online video teaching from lesson 1 right now. After you complete the teaching from the online video, there is a suggested activity. This activity is usually done in the classroom with your students. You should do this after you watch the online video teaching. And finally, there are reflection questions. After you complete the online video teaching and the suggested activity in your classroom, you should come back and answer the reflection questions. These are provided to you on the web page as a PDF. You can print this and answer them by writing the answers, or you can keep a journal and keep track of the answers to your reflection questions as you go through the course. This will monitor your learning and keep track of your progress. All 3 parts of each lesson are designed to take 1 hour for each lesson. Now let's begin lesson 1 of the online video course. This lesson will cover the 4 things you should know before we get started and some great writing apps to help your kids become better writers. First, 4 things you should know before we get started. If this is review for you, you can just review the information and move right along. But if this is new to you, these are 4 essential things that you'll need to know. The first is your home screen. Your home screen is where all the icons of all the apps are shown on your iPad. You can get to the home screen by any time by pushing the small round button located at the bottom of your iPad in the front. The home screen shows all the icons for all the apps that you have, but all the icons may not fit into one home screen, and so if you swipe one finger across the screen of the iPad, you may get to additional home screens. If you can't find the icon you're looking for the app you're trying to open, it might be located in one of the other home screens, so just swipe your finger and move to one of the other home screens. The second thing you need to know is how to open an app. You open an app by touching the icon for that app. You can always get back to the home screen by pressing the small round button located at the bottom front of your iPad. The third thing you'll need to know is how to take a picture of your screen, also called a screenshot. You can do this at any time by pressing 2 buttons at the same time. The button in the top right-hand corner of your iPad, way at the top, and the home screen button. If you press these at the same time, you'll hear a clicking noise, like a camera taking a picture, and then you can always find the screenshot in the Photos section. Get to the Photos by going to your home screen and touching the Photos icon. And finally, there are 2 multitasking gestures that are good for you to know. The first is the 5-finger scrunch. Anytime you have an app open and you put all 5 fingers on the iPad screen and bring them to the middle, kind of scrunching your fingers together, you will return to your home screen. This is the same as pressing the home screen button. You can do this when any app is open. The second multitasking gesture is to put 4 fingers on the screen and swipe them to the left or the right. This is how you move between open apps. If you have more than one app open, you do not need to return to the home screen in between the 2 apps. You can use a 4-finger swipe and easily move between your open apps. These are 4 things you may wish to pause this video and practice and try out on your own. If you already know how to do these 4 things, we can move right along. Now let's look at some great writing apps that you can use to help your students become better writers. The first is called StoryKit. StoryKit is a great app. It allows your students to rewrite famous stories or to start from scratch and write their own story. It's easy and fun to use because you can insert your own photos or use the photos given from classic stories. You can adapt this app to any subject area. Now I know every teacher has been asked to implement writing in their own subject area. StoryKit is a great way to do that. As an example, I'd like to show you an example of a math teacher who's asked his students to rewrite the story Humpty Dumpty using this app and implement or incorporate math into the story. And so the students start with the classic pictures from Humpty Dumpty's story and the classic text. Humpty Dumpty was a smooth, round little chap with a winning smile and a great golden heart. This is the classic text from the Humpty Dumpty story, and the students are able to edit it to incorporate math into the story. And so on the next page, the students get to type, "One day Humpty Dumpty fell and broke into thirds. The king's men did not know fractions, so they could not put him back together again. But Jeremy knew that 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 1, and he was able to fix Humpty Dumpty." This math teacher was easily able to teach writing in their subject area by using this app. StoryKit is a free app. It's fun for students to use. It's motivating to get them to write. You can start with famous stories like this math teacher just did, or you can start with a blank slate and insert photos taken with your iPad or other pictures. It's easy to adapt to any subject area. Another great writing app is StorySpine. StorySpine is a brainstorming tool that helps you start stories, fill in the middle of stories, or finish stories. And again, it can apply to all subject areas. Here's a screenshot from one StorySpine page. And you can see that there are some writing prompts given and then short blanks. So the student can simply fill in, once upon a time, something happened, and every day, and fill it in. Until one day, and because of that, until finally, and ever since that day. In the end, they click Generate Story, and the story is written for them, based on their responses. StorySpine is a great motivator if you have reluctant writers. It's a great way to get started if you've got kids who sit and stare at a blank sheet of paper for too long. It's a great way to fill in stories that are a little thin, and it's a great way to finish a story if you have students who can write but just can't seem to put the finishing touches on a story. You can use it for any subject. Tell your students to incorporate social studies, science, math, Spanish, Phi-Ed, health, anything, right into the written story. I like StorySpine because it turns non-writers or reluctant writers into writers, and it's so easy to use. 3 other apps I think you might want to consider. For elementary school teachers, an app called Letter School, which really helps students improve their penmanship and their writing. For middle school teachers, an app called Middle School Writing Expressing, which will really improve the writing of your students in the middle grades. And for high school students, Essays-R, which will really help them write nonfiction essay answers to questions that they might see on tests, whether those be standardized tests, classroom tests, entrance exams. Essays-R is a great way to improve the nonfiction text-based writing of high school students. So consider those 3 apps as well as the 2 that I showed you. Now it's time for the suggested activity, which is simply to try one of the apps that I've shown you. Take it into the classroom and use it with your students. And don't forget to come back and answer the reflection questions, which are located on a PDF right on this website. If you need more information on using iPads in your classroom, there is a great one-day seminar called Help! They gave me an iPad and I don't know what to do with it. This one-day seminar is perfect for any teacher who wants to implement iPads in their classroom. It's a great mix of outstanding apps, all of them are free by the way, and great strategies that make managing iPads in your classroom a breeze. You can learn more about this seminar at the website ideasunlimitedseminars.com. This concludes the first lesson of the free online video course using iPads to motivate students and manage behavior in your classroom.